Hello my crafty friends, welcome to episode 16 of the Salapaloosa Knits video cast. I keep calling you crafty, but I clearly mean that in the into crafts creative sort of way and not in the, skillful and evil scheming sort of way, although you might be, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, you might be both. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. Yes, this is a video podcast primarily about knitting, but I do tend to get into some other craftsy bits and bobs as well, like sometimes crochet and a little bit of sewing. And if you want to get in touch with me, I am Salapaloosa Knits on Instagram. My Ravelry name is Salapaloosa. We have a Ravelry group for the podcast, which is Salapaloosa Knits Podcast. So do head on over there if you'd like. I'm hoping we'll get a knit along coming pretty soon, so that's definitely the place to be. And what else? If you have any questions or inquiries, collaborations, anything like that, do feel free to message me or email me at salapaloosaknits@gmail.com. And I think that's it, all of the administrative bits. My name is Elizabeth. I guess I should say that in case you are new. I'm coming to you from the beautiful city of Bergen in the western part of Norway, which happens to be very sunny and bright and beautiful today, and we have sun on the walls of our living room, and it's making me feel really happy, and it's just lovely. If you are new again, I live in Bergen, which is the rainiest city in Europe, so having a little glimpse of sunshine do help a lot, and it's just a certain way to lighten the mood for any of the citizens here, really. So yeah, this is how I look like in daylight and not in rain. There you have it. Anyways, I live in Bergen. I live here with my wonderful boyfriend. His name is Christian. I study psychology. Actually, I'm finished with my studies, so I should probably stop saying that. At least I think so. I might pick up a couple of extra subjects in the fall, but in all sense of the word, I am finished. So I'll be looking for jobs. Hopefully something HR related, because that is what I'm very interested in. What else? I work in a psychiatric hospital as well. Nothing much to say about that. What else? I might have to impersonate Speedy Gonzales a little bit, if you remember that cartoon, because I have a million things that I need to get done today, and but I realised that if I couldn't find the time to record today, then it would be another week until I'd have the opportunity again, and yeah, hopefully you don't mind my waffling face this week. So there you have it. Yes, let me first of all have a sip of tea and maybe even mention what's in my cup. I've drizzled all over this thing, not good. Anyways, I'm drinking some delicious tea today. This is one of my absolute favourite teas. It's called Paris, and it is by Honey & Sons, and it is from their classic collection. Now this is a very fruity black tea, and it is got a little bit of vanilla and caramel infused into it, and there's a little bit of bergamot and a little bit of lemon, and it's just very refreshing, I'd say, which is quite lovely. And the tea bags are made out of, they're pyramid bags, obviously, and they're made out of what they call silken sachets, and it sounds ridiculously wasteful and terribly posh, but it's actually just to contribute to optimum flavour really. And the teas that you get in tea bags are, in my humble opinion, not as it doesn't have quite the same deep flavour profile as you get with loose leaf tea, but for this tea it definitely feels just very flavourful and fresh and delicious. So there you have it. It's just a bit more intense flavour experience, I guess. That's just my opinion. But I do like my tea. So that's Paris by Harney & Sons. What else? Yeah, well, anyways, enough about that. I'm just waffling on. I'm feeling a little bit frazzled actually today because there's so much that I need to get done and so much that I need to remember. So I do hope that this won't, you know, go all over the place. But grab your knitting and get your preferred cozy beverage, and yes, let's get into the nitty gritty. I initially thought, when I decided that I should do this kind of impromptu podcast episode, that maybe I don't have a lot of knitting this week. But you guys, when I actually looked at it, I've actually been quite the busy bee this week. I've done a lot of knitting, as it turns out. So first of all, let me show off my longest lingering whip, and that is the Cheshire Green Vanilla Socks. This is the Cheshire Green colourway by Felici, and it is just a simple vanilla sock that I am knitting cuff down. I cast on 48 stitches on a 2mm needles, and the needles I'm using are the Addy Crazy Trio Flexi Flips. And here it is. I am absolutely loving the way that this colour is knitting up. It is just so much fun. Yes, I've talked quite extensively about this one previously, so I won't bore you with that too much. But this is my progress this week. I primarily knit on these while on the go, either on a cafe with some friends or in the car. It's my... Sorry about that. That was probably terribly noisy. If it was, I'll cut that out and I'll do this one more time. I usually knit these on the go or in the car or something like that. I keep these in my purse, so I have them with me wherever I go. So this is the amount of knitting I've been able to do while walking around this week. So not too bad. And they are living in my little me-made project bag. It's just a plain zippered bag with made from Tilda fabric, and I am still so pleased with the seam right here and the lining up this fabric. That is just ridiculous. Every time I see it, I get pretty gleeful just from, you know, being so pleased with myself, my own work. So sorry about that if that is completely obnoxious, but I'm pleased with it, so whatever. Okay, so that's that. The next thing that I want to show you, excuse me while I pick something off the floor, is the shawl that I started last week, or that I showed you for the first time last week. It is the Broken Wings shawl by Holy Locatelli, and it is living in this me-made project bag that I showed you last week. By the way, thank you to everyone who said that they would be very interested in seeing some of my project bags on Etsy. I am definitely considering doing something about that. so thank you very, very much. Anyways, the colour I'm using, let's start with that, is the Pieces of You colourway by Driftwood Farms Yarn and Candle Company. I've gotten the hang of it now. For some reason that was a bit of a tongue twister for me in the beginning, but there you have it. This is the Pieces of You colourway, and it is just an incredibly beautiful pink and purple base, and it's speckled with pretty much all the colours. We have some sunshine yellow in here and some cobalt blue and some lovely green and pops of red, and just, yeah, it's just beautiful. I love this colourway. It was sent to me by Driftwood Farms Yarn and Candle Company. I shouldn't have said that this was a tongue twister, because now my tongue is getting all twisted just from thinking of it. Gosh, I should really know better. I just said that I'm a psychology major. Not good. Anyways, let me show you where I'm at with the shawl. I thought initially that maybe I hadn't done a lot of knitting on this, but I did knit on it for a few hours while talking to the lovely Tristan from Dragon Hoard Yarns and the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast. So I was able to do a bit of knitting on it, more than I realised actually. So here we are. For some reason when I show things off, I feel like I should hum that, you know, the graduation song from the States. Do you know which one I mean? The one like ba 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 ba. I feel like I should do that every time I show something off, probably because I already do that in my own head when I'm admiring something that's finished, that I've knit. It's weird, I know. I'm a big weirdo. This pattern is called Broken Wings. It is a all over lace pattern, and it is designed by Joji Locatelli. It's got these beautiful picot edging on the side there. That's only on one of the sides, and it's one of these one skein wonder shawls, and I've never knit one of these before, so I'm very excited about that, and I'm loving the way that it is knitting up, which is making me really happy. And like I said, I haven't been knitting too much on this week, apart from when I was talking to Tristan last week, and yeah, looking at it now just really makes me want to knit more on it, so that's a really good thing. That's a win-win, isn't it? Now the pattern is, like I said, it's a lace pattern. I don't think I said this just now, but the yarn is an 8515 superwash merino nylon, and I have to say that this is rapidly becoming maybe my favourite yarn base. It's just so soft and still quite plump, and I mean, for a shawl the 15% merino will make or it will provide just easily enough durability for a shawl, so I'm not worried about that at all. And it's just so soft and lovely to work with, so I'm really enjoying that, and very, 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 very grateful to Driftwood Farms Yarn and Candle Company for allowing me to test out their yarn. So yes, that's that. One more time. I don't know what else to say really. The pattern is, I'd say, fairly well written. It is my first pattern, sorry, it's my first Hohi Locatelli pattern, but there was a couple of things that I might want to, or I would have written a little bit differently if it was my pattern. Full disclosure, I do feel that some of the parts may have been a little bit more clearly written out, but it's perfectly understandable, and clearly it's knitting up just fine the way it is, so I shouldn't really complain about it. I'm knitting this on my Lykke interchangeable needles. These are the Lykke driftwood needles, and this is the US 7 and a 4.5mm needle. Yeah, that's it. I don't really have anything else to say about this knit this week. I think I may have messed up the lace on the last needle. I'll have to think back and have a look at it, because when I picked it up to knit a row just earlier this morning, it just did not fit with the chart, so I might have to think back a couple of rows just to find the mistake and make sure that it's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. Alrighty, that is that. The next, where has that gone off to? There it is. It's just scattered with yarn and project bags and projects all around me right now, so it's a little bit of a mess. I'm sure all the other podcasters know what I'm talking about. Let's just say it's going to take a while to clean all of this up when I'm done. Yeah, so the next thing I want to show you is a little test knit that I showed off last week. It's a pair of socks, and they are called the Olive Grove socks, and I'm knitting this for the lovely Katrine Watts, who is Musky Muske on Instagram. And there they are. Oops, it's a little tangled here. Oh, no worries, I can show you either way. This is how far I've gotten on it. I have done a couple more repeats. I think I was at 3 last week, and I've done 6 now, so not bad. They are knitting up super quickly, because it is stockinette at the front and the back, and there's this lace panel going up on the side that just creates just enough interest to make you want to knit it, but then again not so much that you need to pay attention all the time. So it's just a lovely sort of not quite a vanilla sock, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's just my frazzled mind getting the better of me today. Now, it's also always good when you have a podcast and your mind goes on the hopefully not my mind, but the ability to form a proper sentence somehow flies out the window when you start recording. That's just lovely when that happens. So convenient. But there you have it. I am knitting these out of the Lang Super Socks yarn. It is I think it's called something like a color 4-ply or something like that. And the colorway is 904. It is a 65% virgin wool, 25% nylon, and a 10% cashmere. And you know, it's cashmere. It's just terribly difficult to put down once you pick it up. I might just, need to pull my hair away from the microphone so you don't get any terrible disturbances. I might just keep this on my lap to cuddle with it, because I am a sucker for cashmere, to be quite frank. Yeah, I love working with this yarn. I think I mentioned this last week, but this is my favourite commercial sock yarn, maybe apart from the Knit Picks Felici, because it's self-striping and so much fun. But the Knit Picks doesn't have cashmere in it, so Lang has a foot up there. I have knit a pair of socks for Christian previously in the Lang Super Socks yarn in a different colourway, and they have been very durable and very soft and lovely. And come to think of it, I do have quite a lot of that yarn left, because I purchased quite a bit of it. So I might knit a pair of socks for myself with the other pair, no, with the other ball as well. Yeah, but they're fall colours, and now that it is springtime heading into summer, I just really want to knit all the beautiful, beautiful bright and springy colours. Yeah, there you have it. I did not show off the project bag that these are living in, but that is because I'll come to that in sewing, because I sewn it this week, and that is basically the only thing I did sew last week, so yeah, I should say that for sewing, so I have something to talk about. And yeah, what else? Oh, I forgot to say, I'm knitting them on my 2mm Knit Pro carbons. 2mm is the US size 0 needle, and that is my preferred needle for knitting socks for myself. I do love the fabric that it creates. I am quite a loose knitter, so I usually need to go down all the sizes to get a proper fit and a proper gauge for my knits. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Yeah, what else? I don't think there's anything else. I've talked about those last week, so again, I won't bother you or bore you with the same details. And also, I need to get speedy. That sounded terribly strange. Alright, I was looking at my show notes just now to figure out where we were at, but I'm realizing that the most exciting thing that I have to show you I haven't put in my show notes, but I'm sure we can get through this even though I haven't put it in my show notes. The most important thing was remembering to talk about it, but there's just no way that I wouldn't, because I'm so excited about this. Okay, so last week I showed off this amazingly beautiful skein of yarn in the acquisition segment, and it is a skein called Magnolia. That is the colourway, and it was by Lay Family Yarns. And I had come to the conclusion that this skein just had to be made into a Tanya sweater. And the Tanya is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter from Boylan Knitworks, and everyone and their grandmother has knit one of these, it seems like, and there's a good reason for that, because it's a lovely, beautiful pattern. But I hadn't really felt the need to make one of them. I thought it was beautiful, but I just didn't feel like it would look particularly good on me. It wouldn't suit my body shape. But when this skein arrived, I posted a picture on Instagram, and Tristan mentioned that, oh, you should knit a Tanya with that, because I said that I wanted to knit a jumper, and that just clicked, and I decided that that is what I need to do. So I ordered a second skein of it the moment actually that it arrived, because I already knew I wanted to knit a jumper. And the second skein has not arrived yet, but clever as I am, I split the cake in two. I split the skein that I already had into 2 cakes, and I've been alternating those 2 cakes. You guys, are you ready to see this? Are you humming the graduation song? You should. I am. I won't bother you with singing it out loud again, but just know that I am humming this song. Okay, here we go. Yes, look at it. So this is the Tanya pattern, and I am done with the lace portion. I have gone over to the stockinette part in the rest of the the rest of the sweater is stockinette. So I run the stockinette part, but it is I haven't gotten that far on it. As you can see, it's about maybe almost an inch of stockinette there. Yeah, I am just absolutely loving the way that this is churning out. I am so glad that I decided to knit this pattern with this yarn, because it is just perfect for it. It's such a beautiful neutral colour, and it's just got these lovely specks of yellows and reds and purples and browns, and I think that I would probably wear this quite a bit. And yes, the pattern said that you should choose a needle size within a certain needle range, which was quite large, and like I said, I am an incredibly loose knitter, so I knit a swatch on the smallest needle size, which is the 3.25mm needle, and I think that is the US 3. I'm not 100% sure. Arrest me if I'm wrong, but I think so. Anyways, it's a 3.25mm needle, which was the smallest one that they recommended. And this is the extra small size that I am knitting. Yes, it's just thoroughly enjoyable, and I am having so much fun knitting it, and I just can't wait to have it finished. And just holding it in my hands is, oh, it's just making me crave knitting on it so much. I just had to do a little, let me just knit 2 stitches. There we go. Okay, that was helpful. I'm knitting this also on my Lykke driftwood interchangeable needles, and it is going swimmingly well. I thought that they may not be sharp enough for the lace portion, because I don't like knitting lace on a blunt needle, but it was fine. No worries. I would maybe prefer doing the lace on my higher sharps, but they were quite sufficient, and also, you know, they just looked so terribly beautiful with the yarn that I sort of had to. And let me just show you that little cute stitch marker there while we're at it. This is one of the lovely Million Dots colorways, one of the lovely Million Dots stitch markers. It's a little pear, and it is incredibly realistic. When I was doing the lace portion, or the pattern said that if you like, you could put a stitch marker between every lace repeat to make it easier to have control of where you are on the pattern or in the chart. And I did that because I wanted to use all of the stitch markers, so I had so much fun with just using all of the lovely stitch markers from Million Dots. I've actually got a little tray here beside me with a bunch of stitch markers. It actually looked kind of lovely. I don't know if you could be able to see that, but oops, there you go. And yeah, I put all of these on my tenure while knitting the lace, and it was just so much fun. Just look at that little ice cream, for instance. The detailing on these are just absolutely incredible, and this raspberry is fantastically realistic. Yeah, Million Dots on Etsy. My favorite stitch markers in the world. Okay, so let me just show you the cakes really quickly. This is what the colorway looks like in the cake. I showed you the skein last week, so if you're interested in seeing that, do pop on over to my previous episode and have a look-see. Like I said, I split the skein into 2 balls, so I'm alternating between them, and I was initially thinking that there was probably no need to alternate skeins in the lace portion, but I decided to do so approximately halfway through the lace, because I was getting worried that one of the balls might run out before I could get the second skein, which would be horrible, because that would mean that I wouldn't be able to knit on it. Although this isn't a tonal, it's a very, very neutral colorway with just some hints of speckles in it, so I'm sure that I might not even have to alternate it all, because there really isn't any danger of pooling here, come to think of it. But nevertheless, I've started alternating, so I'm just going to continue. Now, this isn't living in a project bag. There's a reason why I didn't show you one. It's because I haven't been carrying it around with me, so I've just had it in the yarn bowl that I'm using, which I'm going to show you really quickly, because it was kind of crazy. This is the yarn bowl. It's a ceramic yarn bowl, and it's very, very light, and I'm sure it wouldn't withstand anything. I could probably, sorry, let me just alter the microphone for a second. I could probably blow on it and it could crack, but it really does do the trick. And the thing is, this was so inexpensive. I found it at a store called Grene, and it was, let me see if I have the price tag here. Yeah, it was €4, which is approximately £4, and that is just so cheap. So I've just had it in this, had it living in here. It's did I say that I found it at Grene? So if you have one of those shops near you, do head on over if you want one of these, because I'm sure they will sell out quite quickly. And I love the colour on it. I think it's just very, very sweet and springy. And yeah, I hope I don't drop it, because that will absolutely ruin it. But yeah, it does do the trick, and it was just so inexpensive. £4, you guys. That is insane. I don't have any other yarn balls actually, but I've always wanted one of those beautiful wood ones, but I haven't got one of those, so there you go. I've got this one, and that is fine. It does the trick. Alright, that's all of my knitting for this week. I'm going to show you a few acquisitions really quickly. Anyways, I did a swap with my friend Sarah, and she sent me just the most, they're just the loveliest package really, and it was so sweet. There was some chocolate and biscuits in there, and obviously, since I'm a total sweet tooth, they were gone in a flash. And Sarah, I love that chocolate. She sent me some lovely yarn, which she dyed herself, all of it. But then she also sent me this adorable project bag that she'd sewn. It is just so lovely. It's this beautiful stripy canvas, and it's a drawstring with pink ribbons on it, and yeah, it is just so sweet and thoughtful and lovely. So thank you, Sarah. Isn't that cute? I love this fabric. I think it's just really, really awesome. She sent me some beautiful yarn as well. She sent me this sock set with a 50-gram skein there. Isn't this, oh sorry, isn't this just lovely? I think this is so beautiful. And a contrasting mini. And oh gosh, I love this. I'm already thinking about what sort of pattern I want to use this for. And that's not all. She also sent, oh no, I dropped something. I'll get it afterwards. She also sent me this lovely sock set. Look at that yarn. And I love the way she tied ribbons on the sock sets. That is just so cute. And again, a contrasting mini there. I remember I told her when she was in Bergen that we were looking at some beautiful minis, and she said that, oh, I got so many minis after my yarn dyeing, and I was like, oh, you're so lucky. I really don't have a lot of minis. So I'm really pleased that she sent me some minis, because I love minis. They are amazing, and I can't wait to use these. But that's not all. This was the most amazing swap ever. She sent me, I'm going to take a moment here and just gather myself so I don't get too overly excited like a 3-year-old child. But she sent me a self-striping gobstopper, and this is seriously the prettiest self-striping ever. And here it is. Oh, we have the sun coming in there. What? Isn't that something? That's a first. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I am so excited about this one. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. I mean, come on. It's so beautiful. I don't even know what to say. I just love it. Truly, truly love it. And she was experimenting a little bit with natural dyeing, and so she dyed up some yarn with avocado pits, and she sent me a mini dyed with avocado. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just this incredibly beautiful pale pink sort of colorway. I think that would be the most incredible contrasting to go with the self-striping one, because I really don't want to use the contrasting. That would interfere too much with or take any focus away from the beautiful stripes here. So this one would probably be just perfect. So that's definitely happening. Oh yeah, I can't wait to knit with these and see how they all knit up. It was just such a beautiful yarn treasure. So thank you, Sarah. Anyways, I do have a skein of yarn to show you as well, and this is from a yarn dyer that I haven't bought yarn from previously, and they are based in Sweden, and it is called Fru Valborg, and the colorway is called New Dawn, and the base is the merino swirl base, which is an 80-20 superwash merino nylon. and it's a 366 meters in 100 gram skein. What else? I'm just going to show you one little thing. On the ball band it says something that's quite charming. It says, dyed by hand with love for every skein. I think that's very, very sweet. Okay, I'm going to show you now. Are you singing the graduation song? Here we go. I'm loving the way the sun is entering the screen right now. There we go. I guess for most people that would just be annoying when you're trying to film, but over here when we rarely see the sun, it's just a lot of fun really. There we go. So let me just comment on this lovely label really quickly. How fun is that? Like I said, it's called Fruvalborg and the colourway is called New Dawn, and this just spoke to me when I saw it on the website. I mean, this game just wanted to come and live with me, and I wanted it to be happy, so here we are. I think that this skein is just going to be so easy to use. I don't have any concrete plans for it yet, but I think that this would be clearly beautiful socks. This pale base with the lovely pops of green and black in there, but also it would be such a beautiful part of a shawl. And there are so many shawls that I want to knit right now. Most strongly I want to cast on the Hamami shawl. I think that is what it's called. Who made this pattern? Ines Sang is her name, and yes, look it up if you're interested. I might cast it on for next week, who knows. I bought the pattern, I'm all ready to go, but I got a feeling that it's a beautiful lacy shawl, and it's got these branches going across it, sort of like cherry blossom trees, and for some reason this just feels like the perfect addition to that pattern. So I might do that actually. Getting excited just talking about it, which is always a really good sign. Let me just have a little sip here because I haven't really talked a lot today. I've had the day off and Christian's at work, so I haven't been talking too much, and that means that my throat gets really exhausted really quickly, and my voice gets a little wonky. So tea. A little bit of sewing. I've only done one little piece of sewing this week, and it's no shocker, it's a project bag, and this is it, and wait for it, pom-pom drawstring. Oh yes, isn't that cute? I just had an epiphany and thought that this bag needs pom-pom drawstrings attached to it, and I'm glad I did because I think it's terribly fun and rather cute, and a lovely contrast with the flowery fabric. Yes, I did a dark blue contrasting, and I put a little tag in there, I always do, with a lobster clasp for stitch markers and notions, things like that. It is the same fabric as the outside of the bag, and it's just a lovely drawstring. Now, I do love a good drawstring bag because it's like, you know, Alice in Wonderland and going down the rabbit hole. It fits so much. It looks like, a small bag, but it holds a whole nother world in there, which I love. And right now the project that's living in here is the sock that I'm knitting on, and it's it's such a good size for, well, now I'm just using it for socks, but I could easily fit one of the shawls that I'm working on in here, or one of the shawls. I'm only working on one shawl, you guys. Sorry. Yes, one of the larger projects would also easily fit in here, as it is a lot bigger than it looks. And once again, pom-pom drawstring, so much fun, basically. Yeah, for some reason I've been moving all my project around in different bags this entire week. I don't know why. It might be the spring getting the better of me, and just, seeing the sun for the first time in forever. A little bit of waffle before I round this off. I talked to you last week about the 17th of May, which is the Norwegian Constitution Day and a national holiday in Norway, and I talked about that. It's quite an unusual celebration, and it's just a very beautiful day. And I tried to take some footage to add to my Instagram stories on the 17th of May, which, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen. I tried to get as many snaps as I could of all the beautiful national costumes, but it was a beautiful day. We had lovely weather, and we went to have a lovely brunch at one of my favourite restaurants in Bergen. It's called Kolonialen, and yes, we had some lovely cake for dessert. I love a good dessert brunch, a dessert breakfast, basically any meal that you can have dessert afterwards, which in my opinion is all the meals. Lovely weather, the entire city was out celebrating, and then we went to brunch, which was lovely. It's a bit of a tradition of ours to go there every year. And then we just walked around the city for a little bit, watching the children's parades and listening to the speeches and singing the national anthem. And then we went to my in-laws for dinner and some more cake. It's a day filled with food and cake, basically. And that was lovely. And then late evening there was a beautiful fireworks display across or above the city. So that was that. I was able to sneak photograph some of the national costumes. Like I said, I felt like a total creep, but sometimes you need to do things for the good of humankind, which in this case was giving you guys a sneak peek of all the beautiful national costumes in Norway. And they are made entirely out of wool usually, and there are some incredible embroideries all over them, so do pay attention to that, because I will put some footage in at the end of the video and some pictures. So if you're sorry, I'm sure you're quite interesting. If you're interested, you may have a little look-see there. Yes, what else? Gosh, I thought this would be a really short episode, but I've already been speaking for like 50 minutes. But yes, tomorrow I am heading to Oslo, which is the reason why today is so hectic, because I'll be gone for the rest of the week. And I am heading there because of the photo shoot I'm doing with Pickles, and in relation to the latest book that they've got coming out. There's going to be a party at the publishing house on the Friday, or now on Friday, which should also be a lot of fun, I'm sure. And I'll be able to meet up with some of my friends that live in Oslo, which I'm excited about, and I can't wait to see them. And oh gosh, I don't know what to wear to that party on the Friday. Oh no, that's another thing I need to figure out today. Oh gosh, well that means that I need to wrap this up because I need to figure out what to wear. I'll try to update my Instagram stories while I'm in Oslo if you guys want to have a look at that and see what's happening. And other than that, I'm just going to thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me. It was such a joy talking to you today. And just giving me a little break from, packing and doing all the boring things. This is so much more fun. So thank you for the excuse to sit down and talk about my knitting. Anyways, if you have enjoyed listening to my frantic waffling, please feel free to give my video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And that way you can see what else I'm up to in the future and listen in on my waffling and all the good things. So that is that. Hope you have a lovely knitting week and stay tuned for some Constitution Day footage. Bye.